Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is going to be a phenomenal fight. It's going to be a phenomenal fight. I'm excited to see this fight, skill versus skill. Can Teofimo do this? Can Shakur do that? But come on now, $100 for the pay-per-view, $300 for a nosebleed seat. And I'm just confused, like, why when you go overseas, these fights is a little bit more budget friendly? Pay-per-views, $20, $30, $35. But over here, you got to pay a whole $100, right? And like I said before, shout out to Turkey for putting on these events. Great talent, great fighters. My only question, my point of concern is, when do these prices start getting a little bit more manageable? So, people who don't have the means can purchase these fights more often. Now, you take this, they got a fight over there, $30, right? They get to watch 3 pay-per-views, damn near 4 pay-per-views for every 1 pay-per-view we watch, right? And like I said before, especially when you got a street background, you know what I'm saying? You get beat on a 30, you ain't really trick. You get beat on a little 30 ball, give you a 2.6 on a 30. Catch my drift, you like, I'll let that slide. But you get beat on 100 ball? You get beat on come on now. And like I said before, all of these guys is making bank on Americans, not saying this stuff, not, wanting to be bold and speak up. Hey, why you got our prices all fucked up, man? Why we can't get a price point like, what I'm saying? I gotta pay you $100 for this pay-per-view and I still got to spend $100 on DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? I still got to spend $40, $50 on beers. You know what I'm saying? My woman wants some wine. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to spend another. Why not make it a little bit more budget friendly, for kids to be able to get in on this action? People coming off, people working jobs, Taco Bell, McDonald's, they could be able to afford it. But everybody can't give a motherfucker $100 to see a pay-per-view that might be or might not be. It's inconsistent with these guys, not inconsistent with the matchmaking. He's making phenomenal matchmaking. He paying these guys phenomenally. It's their performance. It's their performance. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, fans are paying their hard-earned money. You know how hard it is to get $100 working, and you getting $7.25 an hour? It's hard to come up with $100 like that off $7.25. You got kids and bills. You know what I'm saying? A car that need gas. Car got insurance on it. $100 is a lot of money. And, like I said before, we gotta, we're working. Boxing is moving forward. We getting these fights that we want. You know what I'm saying? But boxing has to evolve to whereas, we getting these fights, not to just say cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we getting these fights priced at a reasonable price. And I just don't feel like it's a lot of people talking about, the pricing on these events. $300 for the nosebleed tickets. I could go to the NBA game with $300 and damn near be close to the court. You mean to tell me I'm going to be all the way up there? See a lackluster performance. It's $300 a person? Then, when your child, because I got, my son, he taller than the railing. You feel me? So he count as a whole adult. You see what I'm saying? To see what? To see what? Right? And everybody was saying Floyd, $100 pay-per-views was crazy. Right? $100 to see Teofimo versus Shakur. Right? And Shakur, I get it though. If Shakur coming off and he done beat a Tank Davis. Shakur done beat a Keyshawn Davis for the belt at 30. He done stopped Abdullah Mason. Then I'm like, okay, I kind of get that. But I'm saying the performance with Cepeda or the one with the electrician? Which one of those command $100? Because the one with him and the electrician, a motherfucker shouldn't even have paid $25 for that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to understand, my main gripe, my main concern is, why are these other countries getting these fights cheaper? And the people over here, they want to support their fighter. They want to pull up, pop out, fly, go see it. They just for being fans, they getting hit over the head. But these other countries, just for being fans, they get the benefit of the doubt of reasonably priced pay-per-views. reasonably priced events. But over here in America, you know, we just keep getting finessed, bamboozled, fooled. And I'm saying this how many $100 pay-per-views we gotta pay and get bad experiences with the quality of those pay-per-views before we say, man, you know, we ain't even gonna pay for that. You know, and like I said before, that's something that everybody need to be pushing to Al-Sheikh. Yeah, hey, when you gonna lower these pay-per-views, cut? You know what I'm saying? You building these pay-per-views off of American fighters. You know, the least you could do is, you know, lower the price like you do in all these other countries for Americans to support their fighters. But you bringing a whole bunch of American fighters on your platform, and then you charging the people that's wanting to come and support them double, triple, quadruple. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, man. And like I said before, I'm grateful that we able to get these matchups in boxing. I just wish that we can get these, you know, these events at a better price point so we can get more people into the sport. You know, every little kid come in, mom, dad, I want to watch a main event. I want to watch a pay-per-view. All right, little Jimmy, what's the pay-per-view? $100. You better take your ass in that room. $100 just to watch some people throw some punches and then you ain't even entertained. You know, so we gotta take a step back to take a few steps forward with these pay-per-view prices. They're getting out of hand.